if there is wetlands, they're not showing, it, we can't know.
All right, folks, we all set here?
Yep.
Lights on.
Everybody's mic should be on, yep.
All right, well, welcome to the November 12th, 2025 Conservation Commission meeting. If you all please rise and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is 7:05. To my left, we have Ray. To my right, we have Mark and Zuzu. We've got two individuals in the audience, so we will start with them. Craig, if you don't mind, we'll have Ralph go first. I think you'll be fairly quick. Come on up, Ralph.
Hi, everybody. My name's Ralph Feldbaum. I'm with the Ware Winter Wanderers Snowmobile Club. So what we're looking to do is we'd like to ask for the Conservation Commission to start some trails on the town land that runs, looks like it, I should have got the map number for that, but I didn't. It's parallel to between Peasley Road and South Road and all the way over to Merrill Road and then almost up to 77. That's a big piece, like 600 acres, I think.
This is Phelps Farm.
What's that?
I believe that's Phelps Farm over there.
Phelps Farm, correct. The transfer station is part of that,
Yeah.
part of that property. Anyway, so this year, what we'd like to do is, we're working in the area and we have permission from one of your abutters, Michael Miles, to cross his land and get onto the town forest land. That piece has an existing road on it already. So if you look at that handout that I gave you, you see the purple line running more or less top to bottom at a little bit of an angle. And then there's a dotted line, blue line, that's slightly to the side of that. That is what we're looking to do this year. That's, like I said, that's already a road. We would need to cut the small brush back. Most of it's just like less than 1 inch saplings that have grown in. We just can't get through that with, riders and whatnot, if we're allowed to do that. What we'd like to do in the future is we'd like to come across, so where that first X is and it says there's a fork, and then the line travels basically right across to the left, and then there's another X. That's where the town had done some logging in there a few years ago. So that trail separates, it goes across, it cuts across for a little bit on Meadows End Timberlands, and then crosses Merrill Road. On the left-hand side of that, you'll see where I have a trail goes up and then it just kind of scribbles around. There was some loops in there that the skidders had used. On the right-hand side, same thing. I walked up the logging road and then it ended in I think that's Peasley Meadow where it says swamp. There's no way to connect those two because that's all wetland in between. But in the future, we may look to come back towards the town transfer station. And it's my understanding that to the right of the town transfer station, basically in that area where it says Ware Town of, it's my understanding that there's going to be some logging going on in that 60 or so acres in there. And perhaps we can find a way to connect those two trails from there, if you allow us to do that. So basically all I'm looking for this year is for your approval for the dotted line that's basically parallel to that purple line in the lower right-hand corner.
So this road, you're doing anything to the purple line there? Is that just minor?
2 years ago, we went to the Board of Selectmen and asked for permission to upgrade that Class 6 road.
Okay, yeah.
And we have done that, we're pretty much done with that right now. We're working on the lower part, you see that purple line and it goes down to the lower right-hand corner. That's Meadows End Timberlands and we are working on that section tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be done with that tomorrow or early Friday, and then we'll move on to other things. But if we can, while we're in the area, we sure would like to, we got the machines, we sure would like to do whatever little bit that we need to do on that town road. on the, I don't wanna say town road, on the road that's on the town property.
The
got-
the logging road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, we've certainly approved that. Would obviously ask that you're following any regulations, whether it be trails or DES side of things, wetlands.
So our trail, so we follow what's called best management practices, and that's for sustainable trails to keep from, try to limit erosion and that type of thing.
Others have comment?
No?
Like I said, eventually, we would like to get over to Merrill Road and across Merrill Road. That would be a good opportunity in that area where it crosses Merrill Road is where the town has their stockpile of sand for the residents in the wintertime. So there's ample parking over there for people to walk during the summer months, fall months, winter, cross-country skiing and whatnot. So, I mean, that's one way to look at it too. It opens up some, if we go that far, it opens up some possibilities for the town residents to have a little bit of outdoor recreation other than snowmobiling.
And just so you're aware, we are looking to put in foot trails in that area once the logging's complete. So just keep an eye out on that.
Yep.
If we're taking up a logging road, probably, I don't know, I guess we could discuss that at a later time. Maybe we wouldn't want people walking in snowmobiles on the same trail, or maybe they.
We don't have an issue with that, so cross-country skiers use the snowmobile trails in the Hop Ave, which is Clough, in the Hop Ave riding area all the time. We maintain, I don't know how many trails it is in Clough, but we often see, we have mushers, and we have cross-country skiers quite often. And once in a while, you'll see people on the snowshoes just getting to where they want to go, and then they get off trail. So
Fat
it,
Bikers, too.
what's that?
The fat tire bikes.
We had the fat tire bikes, but as far as people using the trail, there hasn't been any issues with it before. We've had, so before we lost our Quarter 6 trail, we had a trail that went through the society piece on the Buxton Forest, and that was walking trail all winter long up to Mount Wallingford, and we had no issues with snowmobiles and people that were other recreational use of the trail.
So I don't think we need any type of formal motion here, just seeking approval. So that's something we've granted. Seems like the same work done in the past, so.
Okay, we're good with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to put a motion, though, that it's in the record that we've given permission?
Sure.
I'm not making,
I make a motion that we give permission to the Ware Winter Wanderers to do trail work at the Felch Farm Town Forest.
second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
For clarification, that's for this year, for
Yep.
this section. I'm assuming you're gonna wanna see me if we wanna go any further into the Phelps Farm, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would make sense.
All set?
That would make sense, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, very good. We also have Craig in the audience. This is to discuss wetland zoning regulation changes and article presentation and discussion. Thanks for sending over that draft earlier. That helped.
I meant to send it on Saturday, and jumped in my computer last night to print all this out. What's this draft looking for?
I've got copies, so.
I got a
yeah.
copy
I
as
got
well.
copies.
Made you waste paper.
I already,
Oh, you've
Right
been
up
there.
the
You've been there, done that.
That's the existing one.
existing one.
Well, that I don't have.
It makes it easy to prepare if you have.
I brought that.
Yeah, I can't be
You're
third.
all set.
We'll bring it for tomorrow night. Don't come away, bring it tomorrow night.
Good point.
Ray, you need one of these? First of all, please excuse the formatting on the article I typed up. I don't know how to format it. Naomi's gonna take care of it for me though. It's because I got it from Amherst and it's their document and they create it and,
Lost all the format.
yeah, I'm not,
I noticed the,
I can't do that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Naomi's, she can do that before she retires.
Yeah.
I hope. So, basically, what I was hoping to do for the last 5 or 6 years was to create some kind of wetland setback / buffer ordinance that would be variable with the quality of the wetland. Better the wetland, the bigger the buffer, etc. If the wetland's not worth anything, no buffer, no wetland. As some of you may remember, I was here last year with something that Tom Sokolowski and myself and another soil scientist kind of put together from a couple different towns, and it didn't work so good. Tom Clark said, "Craig, why don't you look at Amherst?" And I said, "Oh, okay." And it just so happened I was doing a conditional use permit in Amherst at the time. So it must have been 2 years ago, because I was working still. Anyway, so I got very familiar with Amherst ordinance because I was doing a job there. So this basically is Amherst ordinance with Amherst changed to where, and the only 2 changes I made are the 2 items in bold. Because I'm not sure, I think the boards and the commissions need to talk about those things. The reason, well, I don't know if you want me to read, I hope you don't want me to read this whole thing.
No.
But, perfect.
Just the highlights of what's different.
Basically, right now, we have a 50-foot wetland setback for any lots created prior to, I forgot the date.
2014, I thought it was.
Yeah, 2014.
Okay, after 2014. And a buffer 25 foot on any lot, anytime, no matter when it was created. The dates I don't have in my brain figured out yet, to be blunt. But instead of being a overall, for lack of a better, 25-50, we create a wetland, what do they call it? Wetland Conservation District? Wetland and Watershed Conservation District. It's basically an overlay district like the Aquifer Protection District or the Rural Conservation Overlay District or something like that. And the extent of the district depends on the quality of the wetland, quality and size, etc. On the second page, you'll see the district boundaries are pointed out by 3 or 4 different types of wetlands.
So is the district like,
No
Is
cut
it-
buffer, basically. Or
well, but is the town similar to like a aquifer district? Like, there will be a map that the town puts together? So unlike something like that, it's like anyone who's applying needs to define and classify their wetlands, applying for,
Well, if you're applying for a subdivision or
Yeah.
a site plan or anything with the
Yeah.
town, you gotta do your wetlands anyway.
you're right,
So you get your wetlands delineated if the applicant's on their toes.
Yeah.
The soil scientists can figure out what the quality of the wetland is while they're there
yeah,
and apply the extent of the district on that.
yeah. So it's a district, yeah, it's different than other types of districts, but I
Yes.
understand what you're saying, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So my only big thing that I noticed was it doesn't seem to say anywhere, like I assume that it's the wetland scientist that's going out and surveying the wetlands who's gonna do this ecological integrity score, but it doesn't actually say that anywhere,
Really?
Yeah. as far as I could tell.
Under how this is formatted here.
Good luck with that.
P, underneath surface waters. It does
No,
say
so
maybe
that is just about boundaries, right?
reference lines.
You're right, not about classification.
Oh, who's doing the classification?
Right, exactly. So it's saying that's saying the boundary will, be delineated.
The question, who's making the scoring?
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess my question was, this ecological integrity score and the wetland dependent wildlife habitat score, is that somewhere like in some handbook
Yes,
or something?
yes.
Okay,
What
so a
hap-
reference to whatever that, wherever that comes from
Okay,
would be good.
it's not here.
And it's possible I missed it, but,
I don't think I saw it.
yeah.
Those were my questions.
That was my question, was who made the score?
Right, exactly, who's doing this scoring, yeah.
And then I do think adding language of a certified wetland scientist.
Yeah,
Clarifying who's doing that scoring.
yep,
You know, you'd want that to be, obviously, the developer's hiring the wetland scientist, but, so that they're not exactly neutral, but at least they're certified.
right.
They're putting their stamp on it.
Yep.
Just as a big picture question, are you finding that this existing wetland ordinance there's like issues, like,
To me, the main issue is needing a variance to do anything in the
yeah,
wetland.
yeah,
That's the big issue. It's a real pain to go to 2 or 3 different boards.
yeah,
This would get the conditional use permit from the planning board. Also, it really shouldn't be a variance, because a variance is you got the 5 criteria for the zoning board, and poof, it's yes or no. Well, you meet the 5 criteria, but that may not mean you have to have the right erosion control, and you have the right everything else. That's more of a planning matter. But you may not even go to the planning board for that purpose, so. That was the other thing.
yeah.
So this it combines the current buffer ordinance and setback?
Completely replaces Article 28. So yes.
Okay. All right, well, I got some notes here. If you don't mind, I'll go through.
Sure. Please.
Some of them have been addressed, so if I'm repeating myself, I apologize.
That's quite all right.
So the definition section, that needs to be worked. So definitions of words and terms, and then it doesn't define anything, it just says references shall be made to Article 4.
Which
And
is
that
Article,
went into the zoning of Article 4
yes.
for Amherst, and
No, it's that, I changed that. That's Article 4 in where?
okay, so it's a coincidence then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I did catch.
You did speak to the ecological integrity score and the wildlife habitat score. So we covered that one. When it comes to the district boundaries, so how I'm reading this,
Pardon me?
how I'm reading this here, I'm in the district boundaries section, page 2.
Okay. Yep.
So in town, do you know how many significant wetlands there are?
I have no idea.
I'm thinking most of the wetlands will fall under the other wetlands, which would be the 25-foot conservation district, which is dropping down from.
Oh, an acre's not very big.
Sure.
200.
But it also has to pass this criteria.
Yes, I understand. I have no idea. I think more of them are gonna be significant than you think.
Okay. And then other wetlands, it does cover anything less than an acre. And then
Yes.
anything greater than an acre, if it has a low score.
Right.
The vernal pools, I had some, who's doing the vernal pool tiers?
Same
It's the
question.
Same guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
certified wetland scientist.
so he's gonna be out there counting eggs and doing all that? That's what, I'm reading from the plan here.
To be honest, yes, that's what it says. To be honest, I would think that since that can only be done in April,
Right.
basically, there's gonna be some instances where the soil scientist, at least have done it for me, said this may be a vernal pool. Cause you can't tell if the eggs are there, but it has all the other characteristics, like the one on top of my hill. It may be a vernal pool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the egg masses in it, but there's ducks in it. It's 2 feet deep. There's trees in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it dries up every summer. There's no fish in it, that's for sure.
I'm just thinking in
So
distinguishing tier 1 or tier 2.
What I'm saying is he could say it has the potential to be a vernal pool, so we're gonna treat it like a vernal pool.
Differentiate
one or
tier
two?
1 and tier 2.
You have two different
This has been a long time since I looked at this, so we're,
vernal pool tiers. It's
On
page
the
3.
third page.
So then it goes on, tier 1 is found to exhibit one or more of the following,
I would,
goes through egg masses of
Blue spotted
salamanders, wood frogs,
10 more egg masses.
I think, yeah,
presence of 40 or more egg masses, and then a tier 2
Doesn't.
do not
Doesn't.
contain. So, I mean, that's the distinguishing
I
factor of
think if
tier 1,
they,
tier 2.
I think if they can't sit there and count them, they have to assume it's the tier 1.
Right. It'd
Okay,
be good
could we
to
get-
specify that then.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I think we would appreciate if you put some language in there. If cannot be distinguished, then assumed to be tier 1, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
It'd be the other way around, right? If it's undistinguishable, it'd be tier 2, if you couldn't determine.
Well, you'd want to have the highest protection, though.
Okay.
Tier 1.
Yeah, tier 1 is
Alright.
the better one.
Assume tier 1 unless they can distinguish it.
Yeah.
Like you said, if somebody signs a contract with you in July, you're not gonna wait 10 months to find out what the buffer is to start working on the project.
If you
Right.
need that 50 feet, you might, but
You
I don't,
might.
I don't think so.
You might, but
Then I like this surface water section here. Did have a question on this ephemeral streams. Have we ever had setbacks on those type of streams before? I'm not a wetland scientist.
you're gonna have a wetland around the stream.
This is a stream that's a result of rainfall or snow melt. So we have I know of a couple of those in my area. Then they aren't in a wetland zone.
If the leaves are washed out and the leaves are stained, it's a wetland.
Okay.
That's one of the
A guy
characteristics.
cut down a lot of
That's one of the characteristics.
in that area.
Yeah,
I was showing appreciation for that being in there, not because I don't think it is now.
I can take it out if you want me to.
I do not.
Just while we're on this page, I would say right after what's right now, paragraph P would be, or even in that same paragraph would be, I think, a good spot to specify the certified wetland scientist is making the classification of the vernal pool tiers
Yeah,
and the wetland tiers, or wetland significance classification.
Scoring,
Yeah, scoring, thank you.
integrity scoring.
Yeah.
And then for the next two, Q and R. I wrote down, do we need these? Let me read and not wonder why.
Q, yes, we need it, because the detention pond in front of Dollar General is not in the wetland conservation district.
Okay, but yeah,
Right now-
you think that's necessary to have in there to
Yes.
distinguish that, okay.
Because technically it is a wetland.
Okay, and that wouldn't be defined in your definition section already?
No,
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, as things stand right now, are stormwater structures treated like wetlands under
Supposed
this?
to be.
Yeah.
And how about this,
Yeah. they had
wetlands
that,
located within New Hampshire public water supply wellhead protection areas shall be designated public water protection wetlands?
to be blunt, I just copied that.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any of, do we have any of those?
Well, we have wellhead protection areas.
Public water protection wetlands?
We do have wellhead protection areas, so I'm sure there's wetlands in them.
Yep.
So, yes. S is what I don't know, S personally I don't like to do.
So I
That's
was
why it's
gonna ask,
bold.
yeah, that was one I had. If you wanna discuss that, I think that's pretty relevant to us.
I can see why people want it, but to be blunt, it's ugly walking around the woods seeing a
Yeah.
stupid sign nailed to a tree. And if it was on my lot, I'd take it down.
This was in Amherst, or it
It's
was?
in quite a few towns, actually.
Yeah,
Bo makes you put them up, Goffstown, Amherst,
interesting.
Where?
Concord.
We were in Dover today. Somebody built an industrial building, and 10 feet away from the industrial building is surrounded by these signs. It's stupid. Really. I mean, it's all wooded all around there.
The
And
only-
if that's the wetland so close to it and it surrounds the whole place, then that means they actually built in a wetland. But they did it anyway. So these signs are kinda wasteful.
The only thing they do help is if you put them up, and you should put them up, obviously, before you get the plan approved, therefore before construction. So theoretically, you would stop the tree cutters from going in the buffer accidentally. But you can do that with ribbons. You don't need to put a stupid sign up.
Right, there'd be flagging from when the
Yeah, put some
wetland
flagging
scientist
up.
was there, yeah.
It's,
They did it in Manchester though, on that new Tech Village site, and it does add a layer of scariness if you cross the
Yeah.
line. The ribbon, you can say, oh, no problem, it's the when you see that sign, you know they're serious.
No.
So maybe in critical areas. put
oh
signs like
geez,
that.
how in the world do you say that?
If you have a tier one
If we
vernal
feel like it, we're
pool
gonna do
or
this.
a
We don't feel like it, we're not gonna do this.
significant
We're working
wetland.
on Peasley Road. And Meadows End has theirs, and then the town has theirs, but you can walk along and see, this is the town line, this is Meadows End line. You know, and every 50 feet or so, there's a little tag.
Facing each other.
But, you know, if you're out in the woods and stuff, and now there's no question.
I,
Yeah.
as a surveyor, I hated putting them up. And I think they look stupid in the middle of the woods, but there is a point to them.
You know, if you're not familiar with the area or whatever, now there's no question. You can say I didn't know.
Yeah. Bo has a nice little sign, by the way. It's white with a green duck in the middle of it.
Oh, cute.
It says wetland protection or something like that around it. I left it there just to talk about it. I really don't like it, but at the same time, I see the purpose.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're, to keep this in the article, we're assuming the landowner would be paying for those placards?
Oh, yeah, they'd be put up before the plan was approved.
Okay.
What most towns do, or some towns do, I should say, is they will buy a whole bunch, a couple thousand signs, well, not a couple thousand, but 1,000 or something. They'll get a good price break that way, keep them and then sell them to the applicant. Bo sells them to you for $1 each. I know, at least a couple years ago they did,
Inflation, they're $5 now.
probably. Tariff on the paint or something.
Yeah.
Then on the next page, 1, 2, 3, page 4, permitted uses, W, is that something that's necessary to have in there? Installation, maintenance of water wells, surface water intake facilities, associated supply lines.
I
I would keep that in there.
I think water wells should be allowed in it, personally. I mean, we're not talking in the wetland.
Go near and close to wetlands. applies to the whole town. And then it all grows back. They disturb it temporarily, but
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah, I
there.
mean, you make a little road to get there for the drill rig and there's a water line going out of it, but
Yeah.
it's not typically part of the yard. It wouldn't necessarily be part of the yard.
It's good to have it in writing, because if it ever happens, you know it's right there. You don't have to
Yeah.
try to interpret it.
Then we've got the conditional use permit section, so this would be brand new.
Yes.
And you desire this?
Yes.
Yes.
The main reason I'm standing here.
Yep. So this would obviously create more work for a planning board to have to go through, instead of getting a variance.
Yes. But, yes, it would create more work.
And I would ask, yeah, that we at least be invited out on a site walk. Would you be performing site walks?
Probably.
Okay.
Not necessarily, but probably. Some we do and some we don't. We'll talk about sidewalks when I'm done with this.
Okay.
And other things, if you don't mind.
Yep. The part AA, accessory structures associated with legally existing primary structure. If the applicant can demonstrate no practical alternative exists.
That's,
That sounds good on paper, you know.
that's actually the job I had in Amherst.
Yeah,
The guy was putting an addition, the lot was created prior to this ordinance. The house was actually about 98 feet from a big pond, so the house is partially encroaching into the conservation district. He wanted to put an addition on, and in doing so, the driveway was gonna be the garage, move his garage, so he'd have to swing driveway in. So he was disturbing probably about 10,000 square feet of the district, something like that. So what we did was we mediate, that's not the right word. Yeah, it is. We had all the roof drains collected and draining away from the pond, so they were going the other direction, not washing out towards the pond. We used pervious pavers in an awful lot of the driveway. And we had a drip edge around most of the house, so hopefully most of the water would be infiltrating. So we reduced the runoff from the site by doing the addition, basically. That's what the whole process was about for 3 months in Amherst, and doing a drainage report and proving it was less, and having Steve Keats review it, and it was quite a go-around, actually, for a three-stall garage.
so you're confident the planning board's gonna be going through that much effort?
I don't know if we need a drainage report for 8,000 square feet of disturbance personally, but yes, I think we will.
Because I just see with all of these, a world where things get lax, and
Right, like how do you?
if you're
Well-
not thorough with all of this, then, you know,
At the same time, right now, you need a variance, and you don't have any control. Yes, board members change, so, yes.
yeah.
But if it's all in writing like this, board members aren't likely to get lax. We're not lax. We make
Right.
sure everything,
We try.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you're going from 2.5 pages to 8 now, though.
Yes.
So that puts
So,
it-
I mean, that's,
It actually makes things easier because it's in black and white.
Right.
until you run into something where the
Well, there's
gray
always-
goes in. The more pages, the more gray
Yeah.
exists, I promise you that. So that all stems from, you know, just, we would appreciate this, the no viable alternative is available, you know, that's really taken seriously. And then, how often do you think that language is currently enforced with the wetlands not even existing, I guess, right now?
It's not enforced at all.
Yeah. then DD, you know, another area that could get abused. Non-conforming uses and structures.
In 29-1, it gives the permit review criteria of the planning board. So it tasks the planning board to make sure that it isn't getting rubber stamped.
Of course, that won't be 29-1 anymore, but
But,
it won't be, it won't be 29-1 anymore, it'll be 28 something.
oh, okay,
That's my formatting thing, but yes,
okay.
I know what you're talking about now, thank you.
For EE, other uses which the applicant is able to demonstrate to the satisfaction of the planning board, that kind of just keeps it open. So do you have any examples of what you might think would be covered under other uses?
No,
That's pretty much anything they would want to
Yeah.
come to you with.
something we never thought of, yes.
Catch all. Water impoundments, CC. I understand fire protection and stormwater management, but recreational use and wildlife,
Well, we approved the pond,
well,
Trout
trout pond.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Trout ponds and ice fishing.
That's recreational.
And wildlife, yes.
I know I'm not going in my pond unless I fall.
Right.
Get out real quick too. before I use it.
My dog still goes swimming.
I don't wanna swim there.
I don't want to swim anywhere.
Oh, it's always clean.
It is, but there's a lot of,
There's frogs and turtles and
weeds,
Yeah.
a lot of weeds.
You're not afraid of a frog, are you?
snakes mostly.
Oh, yeah, okay. Saw on the news where somebody's house burnt in Methuen with 60 snakes in it.
Can't get out of those places fast enough.
60 pet snakes, I thought it was a good thing.
Snake.
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
So do you folks have anything else for the conditional use section?
No, I don't think so.
On this, I did, right before we get to the next section, there was this language, such, at the end here, under those other uses, EE, I, talks to compensatory, mitigation,
Yes.
and then it says can be located on or off site. So is that the idea, you know, you got folks filling a wetland and then out in Dunbarton, they're creating a wetland? Is that idea? Because I wouldn't be keen on that.
That's kinda what the state wants now.
Yeah, we
Uh,
were,
I'm not the state.
Yeah, no, well, when we did exit 2,
Yeah.
they had to fill in some wetlands to widen the highway.
Okay, how about after the word,
3 miles away, they bought a dry piece of land.
And maybe, no, I know that, I'm saying I'm not a fan of that, is what I'm saying.
after off-site, we add but must be located in a town of where? How's that? You see what I mean?
Yep.
I agree. I was telling somebody else, I was working on a wetland permit, and instead of doing a compensatory mitigation, now they have you just, quote, donate to buy the wetland.
All right.
And we're doing a job in Meredith, so they have a Excel spreadsheet. For some reason, an acre of wetland in Meredith is worth about $1,500 more than a wetland in Ware. Why is that? Ware was like 23rd in the state or something like that. Why is that? I didn't ask anybody, because I figured you'd get somebody mad at me, but I didn't see why Mayor's wetland is really better than ours.
Approached by some organization that was looking to do that, had credits they had to give out from a project they were doing. And if we had any
Oh, yeah.
Remember
Any
that?
Ideas, yeah.
year ago. And they were working out in,
I think they're
Kingston
doing
or something.
electric
yeah,
line work.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, conditional use permit review criteria. I didn't have a whole lot here, just, under B2 or II. Proposed activity will have no significant negative environmental impact to abutting or downstream properties. How are you determining that?
That's gotta be all in the application and done by the applicant.
So they're gonna demonstrate that no significant
Yes.
impacts have occurred, okay. And then the word significant, how is that gonna be, is that gonna be defined anywhere?
Probably not. Webster's.
That's just one of those words that
I know.
anybody can do whatever they want with. What's significant to me is not significant to you.
Well, the biggest negative impact downstream would be increasing the flow or massively decreasing the flow. It wouldn't be, that'd be about the only.
Can the wording just be changed to say not to alter the downstream flow instead of significant?
Well, you're talking decimals of a cubic
I
foot
know,
per
then
second.
People
And
get nick.
yeah, I can see engineers going to the hundredth of a cubic foot per second, and
Yeah.
now you're talking gallons, and it's like, come on.
I mean, if you wanted, you could say, I don't think this is necessarily a good idea, but like no more than 10% increase or decrease
But then
in,
they'd have to determine that,
But-
which is very high.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all, you know,
And the
Ten-
thing is,
10%?
Everybody that comes into the zoning planning board, it's because they need to do something that's not exactly within the code, so they're always looking to push the boundaries.
Well, right, that's why I'm,
And 10% might not seem like much, but your driveway culvert might be 10% extra might flood your driveway culvert.
right, so 1%, but
Right.
yeah, it's really hard to, yeah.
it does list 6 reasons underneath, but it, it's just. Everyone will have their own opinion on what those line items mean.
Yeah. Well, it does say on the next page, prior to making a decision in regard to the possible approval of any conditional use permit application, the planning board shall afford the conservation commission an opportunity to provide written comments, so that at least would be like another set of eyes.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be going through all of this too for every plan, yeah.
Yeah, what's gonna happen is most subdivisions or site plans you're gonna have 2 applications submitted at one time, that's all. So instead of just looking at subdivision, you look at the conditional use permit for the wetland along with the subdivision at the same time.
Do you know, when Amherst put this in effect?
No.
I'd just be curious to know how it's working out for them, I guess.
Did the 2014 date come out of the Amherst thing? Maybe that's when they did it.
Yeah, that was part of the Amherst,
So that's probably when they did it.
Probably, yeah.
maybe.
conditional use permit is that a DES, or is this something the town does?
Town.
Well, it's based kind of like in a conditional use permit with, or a permit by notification with the DES, and a lot of this stuff is all the same.
DES doesn't have any wetland buffers or anything, so
Yeah.
this is what above and beyond DES.
Right. But it's, New Hampshire National Heritage Inventory and all that stuff,
Yeah, you gotta reference all that stuff.
yeah.
You might want to require a stamp from a wetland scientist on this plan.
We do now anyway, don't we?
Yeah,
We always ask for the stamp.
but it doesn't say anything about it in this article.
You're right, it doesn't. That's weird.
It doesn't require a report detailing how the function and values of the map.
Well, this is just the plan requirements.
Yeah.
Says it has to be a certified wetland scientist, and if they're doing anything, they're gonna stamp, correct?
Yeah.
But section P,
Yeah, it would, it's just sort of like, I don't know, doubling up on that.
All right.
He's gotta put his stamp on
On that last one, on the very last page, D, isn't that a long way from that? 500 feet away?
Well, if they can use, oh, yeah.
Yes, it is, but if you're talking, trying to determine if it's over an acre or under an acre, you might need that 500 feet to determine that. It does seem like a long ways, though. Hadn't really thought about it. Oh, that's of the impact area, not of the property. So, I was gonna say, well, I didn't do that, but yes, I did. It was 60 acre property, so it was all.
I mean, it makes sense if you're trying to get it, the planning board is trying to look at this and get an understanding of what are the downstream wetlands, what's upstream, what is the greater system
Yeah, I
going on
wasn't
here,
thinking about that. I was thinking about more if a person, like we talked about before, wants to build a garage,
Right,
and they're gonna have to go 500 feet from their lot, that could be 2 lots over.
it does say estimated edge, and they can use USGS maps, there is like a national wetlands inventory, it doesn't have every single wetland.
Yeah, you could
mapped,
take a
but-
Google, you could take that National Wetland Inventory to Google Earth and a LiDAR topo and come
Some
pretty
topo.
close.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could come real close.
So I think the estimated definitely helps there. That's all.
Anything further here?
Yeah.
no, I got
All right, so for me, the main takeaways for me are, if it's not determined to be a significant wetland, the buffer, the district is gonna be 25 feet, where now we have the 50-foot buffer. So we're gonna have a smaller,
If the wetland isn't very useful, why have a bigger buffer?
again, useful is a
Could be
term that
useful in
is
the
used by
future.
different
It
people.
could
It
get,
could be the size of this room.
Yeah.
and be,
Turtle might love it for a year, you
if
know?
one turtle loves it 1 year out of 10, I don't care, to be
Yeah.
blunt with you.
Understood. We're the conservation
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
I know.
yes.
I don't like seeing skidder trails being flagged as wetlands, then having a 25-foot, 50-foot buffer around it.
Right.
I've seen that many times, and that's just completely aggravating.
Yeah, so that was my biggest takeaway. There's gonna be more review required by the planning board. Going from 2.5 pages to 8 pages, you're gonna run into
Well,
some
2.5,
unforeseen.
to be blunt, 2.5 pages told me there's a 25-foot buffer and there might be a 50-foot setback. That's all it said.
Right, could have been 2 paragraphs,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Anything else from you folks?
Just, I think big thing is call out who, you know, we want a wetland scientist making these determinations
Scoring.
and doing the scoring, exactly.
Yeah. And that scoring is tough, you know, that you're just going out there for a small period of time, you're not getting a full view of the
Right,
value in my eyes. you know,
Right.
Especially depending on the time of year you're out there, but I'm not
I
a
wonder,
wetland
like,
scientist.
could you just say instead of other wetlands, I don't know, something about like, you know, it's really the man-made wetlands that are the obvious, like, this is not, you know, it's erosion from a skidder, it's a stormwater detention pond.
No, it includes,
Well, I'm just
Natural.
saying, like, those are the most obvious candidates for like, okay, yeah, maybe a 25-foot buffer, but then, I don't know, you certainly can have valuable wetlands that are less than an acre.
it can be more than an acre, just poor,
Yeah,
on that day, the wetland scientist is out there, got a poor grade.
right. Would you be open to having a 50-foot floor on the buffer? Like significant and other both get 50
I thought I was
feet?
being really generous by giving you, offering 100-foot on the good wetlands.
No, I know, I'm
Or
just,
25
I don't
foot on the
know.
not so
I'm
valuable
thinking it
wetlands.
through and,
If you're out in the woods every day and doing site work and stuff like that, say you're putting in a driveway. The driveway itself is not gonna alter things that much. It's still ground, it's gravel now instead of leaves. But if you're within 25 foot of a wetland, and there's 25 feet of trees from the driveway to that wetland, that's not gonna impact the wildlife.
yeah,
That's what
Yep.
he's trying to talk about.
Yeah, that's
It's not a
true.
big swamp or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
you need 50 feet. But a little hole in the ground that has water in it now and then, and there might be a salamander in there now and then. If they're 25 feet away from the driveway, it's not gonna impact.
yeah, that's a good way of
And
thinking about
if
it.
you have a lot where putting it 50 feet away from there really aggravates how you're gonna do your site,
Yeah,
the 25 feet is it's beneficial for everything.
Yeah.
It's not gonna impact the wildlife,
yeah,
Well,
not if you're going through it.
and also right now, we're talking 25-foot buffer everywhere and a 50-foot setback.
yeah,
We're going to a 100-foot buffer
yeah,
for the major wetlands. We're
yeah.
offering a lot more protection.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not opposed to that.
I mean, my pond is 15 feet away from my driveway. I've never run over a frog, a turtle, or anything.
No.
And it's just grass in between.
Mm-hmm.
I dug that pond, and there's all kinds of wildlife in there. But we've never impacted it. It's still all there.
Yeah,
You drive by Perkins Pond, you see a lot of frogs flattened on the road though.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then just the other things we're looking for is adding the wetland scientists to those scores.
Yes,
And
We need-
vernal
we-
pool,
I need to reference this wetland scientist, who's doing the scoring, who's doing the determination, and make sure they stamp the plan.
Yep,
and the vernal
Basically-
pool
basically.
tiers.
right, yeah, assume
You
it's
know, we're
tier
gonna
one.
appreciate if it's assumed to be a
Assuming it's
tier
a tier
one
one,
unless you can,
unless you can demonstrate it's a tier two,
yeah.
basically.
Yep,
Yes.
Tier 2, at sufficient abundance. I wonder, I feel like it should be, tier 2 vernal pools are those that don't contain the above species during whatever time period of the year that they're present. I don't know enough about the biology, because otherwise you could just say, oh, we went out in August and they weren't there, so it's a tier 2.
Unless the
Maybe tier
vernal
one.
pool is in a really wet area, you're only gonna see those things there in the spring.
Right,
Yeah,
so,
but a vernal pool by definition has those salamanders and frogs and things in it. If it's just a wet hole, it's not a vernal pool.
okay, so it's about those specific species, not,
Yes.
okay.
But I mean, to
But I
get
think
tier
you
one,
still
you
need
you need to see 10 blue spotted salamanders.
Right, you'd have to go out of your way to get it, to prove that something's a tier 1,
Tier-
and you
yeah.
don't have to put any effort into proving it's a tier 2, because you could just go
Can see it.
in
I agree,
August,
yeah.
and I didn't see any of those salamanders, so you'd have to say, like, you know,
I've never seen 10
between the months of,
vernal pools.
You've never seen 10 salamanders in a vernal pool?
10 of them. I usually see 1 or 2.
I mean, you know, you could say there was
I mean,
wood frog eggs,
I've
but I only
seen,
saw
I've
30
seen
of them.
egg
not
masses,
40.
a lot more than 10 egg masses in a vernal pool before.
Yeah, I don't have the right answer there, but the vernal pool tiers, it kind of encourages you to be tier 2, which is.
right, it's a lot, it's like, yeah, it's harder to be tier 1. But I don't know how you disprove.
I don't understand your problem, question, whatever.
So I'm saying you have to go out of your way to sit and count
10 salamanders.
species in order to prove that something is the tier 1, which requires a larger buffer.
It's in order to prove something you don't want to prove.
Right, exactly. You have to go out of your way to prove something that you don't want to prove. Whereas if you just went in August and there wasn't 10, or you could say there was 5, oh, then
Well,
it's
if you
a,
go in August, there isn't gonna be any.
exactly, there's
Right.
gonna be
Yeah.
0.
So it's now a tier 2. Yeah, in the spring,
Right.
it's a tier 1.
So it's almost easier to just not have the tiers and choose a buffer for all vernal pools. 75 feet, say. Split the difference.
I'll check on the vernal pool definition and the scoring and all that kind of stuff. I think if a soil scientist is going out to flag or to score a vernal pool, he knows he has to do it in April. He's not gonna go out there in March. He's not gonna go out in July.
Right.
And he's gonna know very quickly if there's 10 egg masses or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what we're getting at in the beginning,
It
that
wouldn't-
if, maybe some language there, if the determination is not made during
Yeah.
breeding season or something, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever time period you would say is a safe,
Then it's automatically designated as a tier 1.
yeah.
and to answer your previous question about when the Amherst did this, I think it's 2014 revised in 2024. By looking at the dates right there, I need to take off this thing.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up with those dates in parentheses.
So they revised that paragraph in 24. Okay. Hopefully tomorrow night, the planning board goes through this, and then when I find the energy, I'll make the changes and send it back out to everybody again. When is your meeting in December?
The second Wednesday.
Yeah, December 10th, yeah.
I should know that, right before the planning board meeting, right? Yeah. Okay. We like these two.
Thanks,
things.
Greg.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that draft.
I'm not
over.
leaving yet.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
On another note, I heard some conversations about the planning board not telling the conservation commission, or the planning board not saying to the applicant to come to the conservation commission or something like that, in relation to the subdivision down in River Road.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about applications without the applicant here, but I'm not really talking about the application, I'm gonna talk about the planning board.
Yeah.
They came to us in May, probably, conceptually, June. At that meeting, I said to them, you need to go to the Conservation Commission to talk about the open space ownership.
Okay.
Said, okay, and he left. Then he comes back with design review. I said, have you been to the Conservation Commission? He says, no, we haven't. I said, you need to go there. Okay, we will, thank you. And I can't make him come here. That's all I can do is tell him, you gotta come here. So, I guess we also started, I believe you're all gonna be getting a copy of our agenda emailed to you,
We did this
Okay.
Yep.
month. I
Okay.
do appreciate that.
so that you'll at least see that's on our agenda.
Yeah.
So, that
I
might help a
think-
little bit.
The thing that we're running into with this particular project that I guess it hasn't come up in 12 years is the
No.
cluster development.
Right, we haven't done one.
Yeah, so you don't have to, as I'm sure you know, you don't have to make them do it as a cluster development with open
Correct.
space. And so the wording in the ordinance was if Conservation Commission
Except,
wants it to be a cluster development. And I guess it sounds like from Andy and Steve that this open space thing is kind of a pain for conservation to deal with. We've learned. So it might not actually be the case that we necessarily want the open space. Also, Steve was making an interesting point that the applicants could just leave one lot with, an easement, have one huge lot, sell it, but it has an easement on it, and that would satisfy the open space requirement. It doesn't have to be conveyed to the town, or.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It wasn't gonna be conveyed to the town.
right,
My
yeah.
My understanding is, I think, I'm not positive on this, they were gonna make a homeowner association to own the open space.
Yeah,
We would still manage it, though.
but the.
And the
conserva-
town still
yeah,
manages, the
yeah.
town still oversees it, manages it, whatever you wanna call it,
The
yes.
difficult part that do.
Yeah.
So if you have a bunch of lot lines,
But
you
the,
know.
but we've, how do I say this? We've revised our ordinance a lot since 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When the plan's approved, the back corners have to be set, pins have to be set, and the plot plan has to be blazed the whole way around the open space.
Yeah.
So before the road's built, you're gonna be able to walk the open space and know where it is, before a tree's cut. So I mean, that's different than any other subdivision here. You talk about Cortland, you talk about Eleanor Way, whatever,
Yeah,
we put that in right after Cortland to hopefully solve that problem,
yeah,
at least not solve it, but
true, yeah.
slow it down at least.
And then the other problem, I guess, is if it's the open space, the boundary may be well marked, but if it's like, tons of boundary, that's
why-
also.
Well,
a
yeah,
pain.
but we fixed that too,
Yeah,
I hope.
okay,
I mean, Eleanor Way, I was designing it, and I was told, I wasn't here at the meeting, but I was told, the town wants as much open space as you can get. Okay,
yeah,
so that's why Jigs and Dogs
Yeah,
other
yeah,
place, to give
yeah.
you as much as we give you.
yeah. Sounds like, again, I'm just,
Should have never,
Oh, no.
you can see one end of Eleanor to the other end of Durgan's, that should have never happened.
Well, no, they should be connected.
Right, but they
Yeah.
didn't want, conservation didn't want the turtles across the road,
Right.
so. At the time,
At the
you guys
time.
weren't sitting here, but at the time, there was a large discussion, because that's the only way you could get from Colby Road to 114.
yeah,
You literally can go to the end and see the end of the other road,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
this length of the
Yeah.
table, this length of the room.
yeah,
But at the time, the conservation did not want a through road for emergency purposes, so there's two hunks of open space at the end,
yeah,
which is crazy.
yeah.
Hopefully if Durgan ever comes back here, we'll make them connect it.
I don't know if they will.
No, somebody will, someday.
Someday, beyond all of us.
Right. So anyway, the ordinance has changed a lot
Yeah,
since the last open space,
yeah.
but I,
Well, just to their defense too, we didn't have a quorum for June.
Yeah,
And you didn't meet in July.
Yep.
So that held them up for 2 months, so they moved on.
yeah.
That plan was here on the table that night.
Right, but you didn't have a quorum.
We didn't have a quorum, so the plan was here, and just nobody saw it. I saw it.
And
I
then July,
mentioned
you
it.
didn't have a quorum.
Yeah,
so
you did
didn't have
mention
a
it, yeah.
meeting.
all I know is I kept saying, go to the Conservation Commission, go to the Conservation Commission. So, I tried.
Appreciate it, Craig.
And we did have a site walk down there, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, River Road. So, I will try to make sure you're invited on any other site walks we do.
And did they figure out the open space calculations and that's all
Oh, yeah, the
good to
stuff,
go? That's not, I haven't heard anything about that. They had land in Goffstown or something.
right, yeah,
8 acres.
I don't know.
okay,
Okay,
I think we'll find out tomorrow night.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
all right,
I will tune in.
yeah.
Anything
All right.
else? Anything else?
No, appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I
Thanks,
said,
Craig.
if we can, we got, especially as we get going here, if we can get invited on any site walks you're gonna have that have some type of conditional permit, I would appreciate it anyway.
Once this new wetland ordinance is under,
If it's
yeah, if it
passed.
passes, yeah.
If you have any
Yep.
questions, give me a call. I'm not hard to find.
All right.
Yeah, you're out fishing.
Changes from mine.
Yeah.
You would make those changes from mine.
No.
You took notes, didn't you?
Yes, I did. See you later.
Well, that's my last night here, so.
Good for you. I know it's late.
Yeah.
Have fun, guys.
All right, thank
Good
you.
night.
All right, next thing up here, we got subdivision for review.
Yeah, I just looked up the, on that map, so the, on the existing tax map, 4066511 consists of 19.10 acres. Let me just show you. Look at the tax map, 'cause something was jarring. So, this is all one piece right now. All of this went across the road with all of that.
It's one
So
lot.
the idea is to reduce, the 19.1 to have 8.9 with that, and this lot would be a total of 10.19. So there's your 10.19 and your 8 makes you 1910, because if you don't mind it, I'll write on, so it goes over. Sorry, here and over. So this is all one lot right now, this
Okay.
side of the strip. So in looking at it,
So
they're
2
gonna,
lots of total.
they're gonna make the 50 feet here, but I think you're gonna find that needs to be 10. Cause it's got 50 feet on Page Road, but it has to be 10. So they're gonna have to whittle probably out of this total, I'm looking upside down. They're gonna have to take 1.1 out of it or something.
And that'll be fine because they got the frontage here.
Well, there was, I think, I don't know how you guys are gonna handle this, it's still, it's a frontage
I know.
on the class 5 road.
6.
6? No.
Huntington's.
It's 5.
Yeah, but this is a
Yeah,
class
but-
six.
Class 6, yeah, yeah, but you guys will talk about all that tomorrow night, I just don't, but it was one lot. And the plan looks like it's to make this still be one lot, which still be looks like this.
So does that mean that all the people that came to oppose that up there are gonna be over there?
Oh, they don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a problem with it. Yeah, you tell me the story, anyway. So, I don't know, like I said, the delineated, your topos on this are as much.
There's no delineated anything, it's just
There's really,
total.
I don't think there's anything, there's nothing there but open space, but there's also, it doesn't look like they've got any wetlands. You still gotta do the fire, and you still gotta go to plan, so. This fire hasn't weighed in.
Well, But
But
if the
it's-
land over here is as wet as these people said it was, wouldn't it, there be some wetness here? Or is it just going down the road?
I don't think the wetness was going down
Down
the other road.
ah.
Yeah, it was beyond, right? It was
Yeah,
up
it
here.
goes that way?
Yeah, it was going
Yeah.
down the road,
Yeah.
so. I don't know, I don't have a comment sheet. I know you guys get sent it, and that's how Andy put it on there. I don't know.
Yeah, but
what
there's
you
no
have for
wetlands anyways
We'll
there,
find
they
out
say.
if there's wetlands. I don't see a wetland stamp, there are no wetlands, but you still need a wetland scientist to
Right.
confirm that.
Well, this first time the planning board's gonna see this tomorrow night.
So I don't know what we're commenting on.
What's that?
I don't know what we'd be commenting
Yeah,
on.
it doesn't look like there's.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Cause if they're strictly looking to make the lots the right size to subdivide it, would they be dealing with wetland things yet?
Yeah, it's on the checklist. I don't know that there is any, I'm glad they did it, so.
I didn't see anything in there when I read it.
It doesn't look like it, cause they're on the other.
But the bottom lot only shows 50 feet on
Yeah.
Class 5 road. It says it
Yeah.
needs 250 feet.
No, Article 1821.
Okay,
If you look at 1821, it says 50 feet with a class 5 paved road, but you have to have 10 acres.
So they're gonna make that lot.
Yeah, less than 10 acres, they would need 250.
Yeah,
yeah.
so if they make this lot a little bigger, they get their 10 acres here, they'll be able to do their 50-foot.
Right, but currently the way it's listed, it didn't make it there.
It did.
Correct. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
1821 has the 50 feet of frontage with the lot.
Okay,
I looked it up too, because I looked at his plan note.
Just for the record, we're looking at a subdivision plan on Huntington Hill Road.
Thank you.
That is going to the planning board tomorrow night for the first time.
We got a soils legend, but no soil
But
grading.
the no soil boundaries,
So it's kind of vague,
yeah.
but we'll address that tomorrow night.
so I just, we can't, there's nothing to comment for us, and
Yeah.
when they go further along and they get a wetlands checked, then,
Well, you can just, the wetlands stamp and the wetlands, you know,
This is our one review of the plan, right?
yes, yeah,
So,
the other,
we
the
gotta get
other
our
two
comments
are,
in.
you've already seen. They've
Oh, in
continued.
terms of this plan itself, this is the only time where they make changes to it, whatever, this is the only time we're ever gonna see.
I imagine,
Yeah.
yes, but I think what he's noted here is the requirements, is what's noted on the notes. Because all of them will add the requirements, when anybody looks at it. Subject to the following, minimum, subject to the building, subject to the wetland setback, subject to no ground disturbance allowed, except for planting shall be maintained, so it gives them, anybody that looks at this lot, gives them all their instructions on going to the zoning ordinance. That's what they've always done.
So for comments, we will have that it needs to get a certified wetland scientist stamp on it. And if there are any wetland delineations, or if the soil wants to be more defined. I'm not seeing anything right.
I'm not seeing it, just contour lines.
They need a return, they need a visit with you, you could always do it that way,
yeah,
you could always do it that way.
right. When they have that information.
If there's the wetlands that are not delineated in this
Okay.
plan, you need a visit, that could be a comment to you.
If it's determined on this plan there are some wetlands that aren't delineated, we would request that the plan come back to
There you go. Yeah,
the Conservation Commission for review.
yeah, I don't think they would need to come before us, just send us the updated plans.
All right, anything else? Next thing, we've got mail items. We've got a ArcGIS magazine, that's all I saw. Duck Pond water rights easement deed approval and signature authorization. I haven't seen the final easement deed, but Andy had mentioned, on the acceptance page, changing the word hearing to meeting. That's about it. I didn't have any comments. Did you folks have any comments on the water rights easement deed as written for Duck Pond?
On which one?
Was I misinterpreting emails that I read?
I'm not sure, 'cause I got an email chain that doesn't have anybody on it but me. Was there any signature on it? It got returned here to be signed by the conservation. And what did you say about a word on the front?
Andy had just mentioned on the acceptance page, maybe I'm in the wrong email.
No, go ahead.
Change word hearing to meeting. I'm trying to find the email.
Oh, I have it, yeah. Yeah, so Attorney Whitley had sent the draft easement. Steve said he's good with it. Andy said, yeah, on the acceptance page, should the word hearing be changed to meeting, otherwise looks okay.
Okay, because the acceptance says pursuant to RSA 477-47, the undersigned chairpersons of the Conservation and the Board of Selectmen respectfully submit their hands in this blank day of blank to indicate the assent of the town aware to the within conveyance. Said chairs have been duly authorized to assent by action of their respective boards at a properly convened and noticed meeting.
Right,
Okay.
and actually,
So it got changed, sounds like.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to come in so I could do it in
Yep.
in front of a notary.
Signed in front of a notary.
It's gotta, yeah, he can't sign it and send it back to me.
Okay.
okay,
That's Andy, correct? We already approved
yeah,
him to
cause
sign
we
it.
had voted for,
Yeah, you guys have voted to approve him to
Yeah.
sign it, that's why it was written the way it was
Okay.
written.
yeah,
So it does say meeting on the acceptance page, so that might have gotten back to Mr. Whitley
Yeah.
and fixed it before it got.
So we do not need to motion Andy to sign it. We've already authorized that.
Yes.
We'll just note for the records.
Yeah, and we'll have to
Andy,
reach
yeah,
out to
yep.
Andy to do that.
Okay.
okay.
Next one was Ralph. We got a Poor Farm Quiet Title update. Just briefly, contact has been made with the other parties, and the attorneys are communicating with each other. That's what we've got for an update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, the next one here, the Eastman Pollinator Mowing Project, I reviewed that invoice. And so, in April, we approved up to 10 hours of work, and I counted 9.5 hours of work. So,
I have.
let me step back here.
Yeah.
Andy had mentioned that we may need to authorize additional hours for the pollinator mowing project. Because potentially Meadows End went over the allotted 10 hours, but in the invoice, I only counted 9.5 hours. I don't know if anybody else got a peek at that.
So you probably saw two, the one that he didn't sign, so, just so you guys, so there's the two that Andy submitted for payment, and there is so there's 4.5 on this one, there's 2.25 to make 6.75. Then you look
Oh.
at this invoice here, is one that you need, you can't pay it until we're
Okay.
done. You have to take this out, and this is your tape. So I think if you take, there's 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, is that right? And then you add them all together, there's come up to 15.75 hours. So you're 575 over, which is spread between 3 invoices, because you don't count the 3.5 of the meeting
Right.
attendance. This is the pollinator.
Yep.
And
So I
then
had that come
those-
to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right, so then you have 9, and then you have.
So I didn't look at
6.75.
those two.
Yeah, so then,
those two are definitely
these two were done because you approved up to 10.
Uh-huh.
So when this one came in, you don't have anything more, you have to weed out the meetings part of it, which is not part of what you approved.
Mm-hmm.
So once we approve the additional work hours,
Once you do the
sign
575, but I don't know where the tape comes from there too, so I don't know if it's, you gave him up to 10 hours, but he also put some flagging tape in there too. I would think that would come out of that too, as a project. Because he's got the pollinator in there with flaggings, 2 rolls of flagging markings. So if you put just the 575 hours, you're short the $8.40 for flagging.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah. How do we, if we do it by
Materials.
hours, how do we?
This doesn't actually include the mowing, does it?
No, the mowing is, I believe, separate.
Yeah, this is all just for him prepping to,
Yeah, you
Get it
guys
done.
approved the 10 hours for him to do, up to 10 hours for
Does
him
he
to do all
put it
that.
out to
Which
bid?
was the putting out to bid, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
he had to rebid it.
And then we had to rebid it. But that's totally different for awarding, you guys awarded the bid to, was it Clearview?
I
yeah,
think so, yeah.
Right here, Clearview. So he did various site reviews. The mowing is done separately, it was approved separately. So my question was on here is, in the email is 575, but how do you pay for the
The
tape?
flagging
You
tape.
know, how do you pay for that tape? Because your meeting attendance comes out of a different, which is, honestly, this shouldn't be here, to be honest with you. If you guys are gonna, I'm sorry, not that one, sorry, I didn't mean to, it's just a
Yeah.
copy. This here, if you're gonna start, does this come out of there? Does it all come out of the same place? That's very confusing for Beth. Because that's the attendance of the meeting that you asked them to do, which should have been billed separately in the pollinator.
yes.
That's why.
Yeah,
So
we
we're all on
can
the
have,
same page. It should have been billed like, instead of 3 invoices, 1, and then billed separately for meeting, I think.
Yes.
Different project line,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you do it up to that and up to, up to $10 and supplies, whatever,
Incidentals or
Yeah.
whatever.
because this comes out of your regular, when you have them come to a meeting. It's not part of, the whatever, agreements.
So you don't have to, but we don't have to
It's all coming evidently from your forest fund.
Uh-huh.
But this always has a 2 on it, which is that general, those 3 invoices have a 2. Which 2 is, let's see, it's this Forest Service agreement. It's their hourly agreement that we signed,
Uh-huh.
but, it was just projects include time and attendance. All fees are 75 and then 90 for the GIS, cause there is a $90 one in here for half an hour for the reference plan. So it's all accountable, cause I guess it's just, I was thinking project-wise it might be nice to track it, but I'm not their biller, so.
So can we just vote on a dollar amount out of the fund, as opposed to before the work was done, we
Yeah, you gave them
approved
some hours.
an hour
Yeah.
amount?
I'm just, if you do the hours, however you wanna do it, we can try to make it clear, that's all,
Mhm.
for Beth.
Maybe from now on, when we do a motion for stuff like that, we should do dollar amounts instead of hours.
Right, cause if you gave him 10 hours, it would've been, but then.
$750
But then half of it was 90 for the.
Right,
GIS
yeah,
analyst,
yeah,
so
we don't
that's
know
hard
how
to
much
do.
they're gonna do
Right.
per.
I don't know.
So,
You
but you're
started
saying,
out-
you're saying for Beth, it helps if we say an amount for the project and then a different amount
Well,
for,
I'm saying that it's easy, 3 invoices for one
Yeah,
project and a
yeah.
meeting and some tape is a little.
yeah, yeah.
Right,
Crazy.
I would send it back in to rebill that. Cause all
But we
that can
already
be on one
paid,
bill.
we already
I
paid
think
two.
you
already
but-
paid
you
two.
paid the 2, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you haven't, we could do that,
Yeah,
but I think these came through.
because that should have been all for that
So these
one-on-one.
came, right, these came through, and I think the attendance at a meeting should have been separately,
Yeah.
Yes,
just because that's spelled out in here, to attendance to the meetings, bid projects, but where you specifically did it for that project.
yes.
These are copies.
I printed them off, but I can give them back to Beth or whatever you want. These I printed them off, just because I didn't understand the whole 575, because I couldn't come up with it. And then I realized that it was, I'll have it back after, if you're gonna make a motion.
I think the first one that we can make that's easier to make a motion for is getting the quarterly update Conservation Commission meeting item, its own separate project number.
Well, that goes under the generic FSA that we gave it back, if we go back to April when we did those. We approved the generic FSA for that stuff, hourly work. And that should fall under that hourly work. The pollinator mowing was a specific
Separate
job.
project, yeah.
It's just easier, I think, tracking for you guys when someone says, how much did it cost us last year, not looking at 2.5 invoices.
Yeah,
I mean, she can break the invoice down, it just is a little bit more work.
yeah, but we should be invoiced by that job.
Right.
And
'Cause
I think that's where-
I don't think you guys knew you were buying tape, did you?
No,
No,
Like, you only said the hourly. It's part of the project, I get it, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to.
yeah.
and there's a certain thing that goes with,
So does anybody have a clean motion to get the quarterly update on a separate invoice?
I'm open to suggestions.
I could, I mean,
Well, it's
that
that,
hasn't been paid, so I could ask Jenny if she would bill that separately.
Yes, rebuild that.
yeah.
And then you could rebill it, and then it should all tie together.
Yeah.
If I take that off there, that should give you your 1575 plus your tape.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that would be a lot cleaner, and then bill us for just the quarterly update.
yes.
okay.
I can just ask
And
that.
just ask her that in future that stuff needs to be built separately.
Yeah, I don't think she knew,
Yeah.
so. And I don't mind, I can get a hold of her.
Okay.
I can reach out to Jenny, you don't need a motion.
No motion.
But you do have to pay the extra, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prove the additional, time,
You have to prove the additional.
which was what, 5.75 hours?
well, I think we should do a dollar amount this time because there's the tape.
Because it is tape inclusive.
So,
Oh, you're killing me here. Did you do the math over there?
no, but what if we just,
I am doing the math.
what if we just approved whatever dollar amount it is for the tape and the hours on that particular invoice, and if it's more than and if that adds up to being more than 10 hours that we originally approved plus this dollar amount, that's fine. It's okay if we approve more than what's actually ends up being paid.
So the 575 hours at 75 plus $8.40 comes up to $439.65. So if you put up,
Additional.
if you put up to 450,
Okay. From the forestry account,
forest fund, yeah.
forest fund. Okay, I make a motion to approve $450,
Additional.
yeah, $450 additional, be taken from the forestry fund to
Eastman,
pay
Eastman Pollinator Mowing Project.
for, invoice number 2025-1186 Eastman Pollinator Mowing Project items.
And
Second.
hours?
I think we
No,
just
we
want
just-
dollar amount,
dollar amount.
yeah.
That'll
So
get
four,
that
Up to
invoice
450
paid.
for the additional work from the forest fund to pay 2025-1186 for
Yep.
the Eastman Pollinator Project.
yes.
I second that.
Any discussion?
And I'll just ask her to rebill, you don't have to make that motion. I'll just ask her to rebill.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
You have a couple sets of minutes still, Mike.
I know.
I reviewed them and,
I was gonna ask.
yeah,
If we're
but
good to go, we can do.
I would
do
be
that.
fine to just go.
Yeah, I reviewed them too, I didn't see anything to
Yeah,
change.
I,
No, I didn't either.
yeah,
I reviewed, I did not read.
Make a motion that we accept the September 10th minutes as written.
I
Sec.
You
can.
beat me to it, no.
Ready?
All right.
I guess so.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Ray.
You can do the next one.
Okay.
All
Is it-
those,
Yeah, go ahead.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? 4-0-0. October 14, 2025 minutes for review and approval.
I make a motion to approve the October minutes as written.
Second.
Mark and second.
Motion to approve minutes as written by Zuzu, seconded by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
That covers our agenda. We do want to wish Naomi a pleasant farewell. Being a town administrator, it's not always a thankful job.
Yeah.
But we know, we could feel it in your heart that everything you did was for the town and the best of the town. We really appreciate that and everything you've done for the Conservation Commission.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Naomi.
Thank you, guys. Just, you have a piece of mail, just as a reminder of the, from society about the monitoring, the conservation easements. Our Collins Ledge is due by January 15th of 2026. We just got this, it was in,
Yeah.
just as a reminder.
I think we asked Jeremy to do that.
they
Yeah, we did.
do
Okay, so I
usually
send
do
it
it.
to Jeremy as a reminder.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
One more motion for the night?
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, don't shut that off yet.
Oh, yeah, yes, sure.
So, what, is when you guys come back?
Yep.
You guys can come 8:39.
8:39, motion to adjourn.
The mouse is over here. So you're still live, but I'll show you how to shut it off. It's very easy.
What did I do with this? Oh, here.
So you come here, you're on the YouTube page. Yep, start with YouTube. So you go, either one, I always leave it there, so I end stream and